Welcome to this December's message, and it's the Festival of Lights, because this is the time of the year which has the darkest day of the year. It's, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, it's called the winter solstice. And it's our job during this time, and most of the celebrations from around the world are about bringing light into the darkness. And so I'm thinking about the holidays and what people are going through on so many levels. And there's a wonderful saying by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and I'm going to say, nothing can bring you peace but yourself. So what I'd like to do is talk about the body, mind, and the spirit, how we can bring peace and light into ourselves, but also give it out to those we love and others, as well as those we don't know. So we first start with the body. This is the time where we need more naps. People who don't get enough sleep during this time are suffering. Sometimes it exacerbates their depression. So I recommend taking your vitamin D3s. If you need it, get a seasonal affective disorder lamp. I have one. So the darker days don't wear you down. Definitely enough exercise and avoiding too much alcohol or sugar. It's kind of hard sometimes. But also, there's things that we can do around us. Lavender is a wonderful scent for calming us, and you can get the scents and get diffusers. Also, Epsom salt baths, anything that soothes our body. And in the other, many of the other talks, I've talked about putting your hand on your chest, breathing out first, getting the CO2 out for a count of 7, in for 4. And you hold for a count of 5, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. And again, we blow out that CO2. Because when we have too much CO2 in our body, that usually happens when we're getting panicky, anxious, fed up, angry, all those emotions that can come up during the holidays. We breathe too shallowly and we don't get enough oxygen and we get too much CO2. And that can even lead to panic attacks. So first we start with our body. Then we start with our mind. What are things that we can do over the holiday season, despite it giving us what we want, being with people, not being with people? And one of the greatest things that I always recommend is gratitudes. Writing down 5 gratitudes a day. And it's even better if you can share it with someone so you're not feeling so isolated. And there was a study out of the Journal of Mental Health that discussed how gratitude and writing them down and sharing with someone actually improves depression and some of that sense of, it comes in the holidays that our expectations, I love this line, expectations are built in resentments. And often our holidays are not what we were hoping they were going to be. Either, and we go into them with these expectations, over the dinner table, I'm going to resolve all my anger and drama at this meal. It's a wonderful line I always like, which is now the time, should this be said? Should this be said by me? And should this be said by me now? Which is usually not over the holiday table. So as we sort of quiet our mind, find appreciation, we're also looking for that tenderness towards one another, that kindness, for everybody's carrying their own cross. And it's something to remember as we go to this holiday. There's people out there who don't have family, and there's people out there who this is their first holiday time. They don't have that special person in their life who may have passed in the last year. And again, acknowledging, I have an acronym, VAS, validate someone's suffering or situation. Acknowledge it to them that they have every reason to feel that way. And then ask them in service, what is it that I can do to help you? And those 3 things, VAS, can be very helpful in getting through the holidays, because when we think about bringing light around our tables and with our families and in the world outside, it's where can I be of help? Where can I be of service? And that's what starts to build up our spiritual parts of ourselves. Often people who I work with who don't have any family or are dealing with someone who passed, I recommend volunteering. It's a very powerful thing, especially at shelters, to go pet some pets. Salvation Army does wonderful work. And you can also just go to your local schools and church and places of worship and churches and synagogues and temples to find out if they need any help as well. And what I want to also remind us is that none of us needs to be alone during this holiday season. Find your light. It's in all of us. Usually sits around between the heart and the solar plexus. And when you're standing there, take your hands and just kind of expand the light out to everywhere you go, being in the moment, noticing those miracles. Like we have a lot of monarch butterflies right now in Southern California. Notice the beauty, get into nature. Let that light not only shine, but also take it in from the world around you of beautiful things. Watch your negative news. Keep it to a minimum. Don't try to get someone to get it who doesn't get it and may have opinions that differ from yours. It's about being with each other and making each of us feel acknowledged and valued. That is the greatest gift of light that we can give to our loved ones and to ourselves. So I wish you a very blessed holiday season. Self-love, love for me, and again, go Flash, go.